Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Children of the Most High. I know this is not my regular scheduled time, and this is kind of a last second emergency update broadcast, but I felt very heavy on my heart to come out and talk just a little bit about what's going on and what is about to happen. As most of you know, a few days ago it was announced that EBT and SNAP will be shut off in the month of November. And it is also being said that it will more than likely, quite possibly, extend in throughout December. Now, I know many of you who do not have these services are thinking to yourselves, well, that's not really going to affect me. Well, I am here to tell you and to give you some bad news. This is going to affect every single person in this nation. And I would like to explain a little bit why. There are thousands of videos circulating, and they continue to keep popping up on an everyday basis since this announcement has taken place, that many people who have these services and are going to get them cut off are stating that they will steal food. They will raid the grocery stores. They will wait in parking lots for people to come out with their groceries and are not afraid to get violent to take your groceries, which also includes unaliving, if you know what I mean. This is not to scare you. This is to make you aware that when you are going to the grocery store in these next couple of months, you need to be extremely aware of your surroundings. There has been word out through government agencies that are whistleblowing, basically, stating that there will be a bunch of grocery store chains that will close down without notice for a 24-hour period in a 2-week span. Places like Costco, Walmart, Trader Joe's, Aldi. I know there were a few more on those lists, but I can't remember those particular things. What the military is going to do when those grocery stores shut down for a 24-hour period is they are going to assess all supplies in each of these stores and take certain supplies and hide them away in distribution centers for a later date, which basically tells us that, yes, there is a planned something that is about to occur with our food and supplies. And at some point, we're going to have to rely on the government to distribute that. And I can guarantee you, if that is the case, then more than likely you will be forced to join the new digital program in order to receive that food. So the reason why it's important to understand this, and I'm sure a lot of you already know, as I'm probably preaching to the choir, but your safety, aside from the ability to get food and supplies, are at risk. This is not me coming out here saying go and hoard a bunch of stores and get all your supplies right now, because that in essence will cause even more chaos, because people are already trying to do so. And from what I understand, even in September, there were truckers who were trying to explain to us that when they went to go get the supplies for these upcoming holidays, that there were hardly any supplies to get. So we're already dealing with shortages, and that is on top of all the tariffs that are happening, which is causing part of this shortage. This is important because we need to start coming back to the days of the Depression. We need to start learning and understanding how to make food, meals for our family that are with staples and are inexpensive. It's important to teach your family and your children how to make basic things that can feed them, that are cost effective and can last a while. I just want to reiterate the importance of your safety when going out now to go get your groceries. Something so simple that we've been able to do for a long time, fairly safely, is now going to be almost like a war zone. Now, the thing to remember is you can take away a lot of things from people, and they can still survive and they can still thrive. But when you take away food or water, which are two essential things that you need to survive in this world, then that is an act of war. And yes, you heard me correctly. It is an act of war. This is how they are going to break us down to accept their solution. Now, you need to be strong. There are a lot of us who have been practicing intermittent fasting or really working on our fasting abilities. We're going to have to hone in on this because this is going to be a time of lack, a time that we will be without a lot of means that we are very used to. And I'm sorry, but here in this country, we are spoiled. We have conveniences and the ability to get anything you want basically with the click of a button anymore. And for those of you who think, well, that's fine because I'll just Instacart my groceries or, order them from Amazon. Well, first of all, if you're going to Instacart your groceries, there is still a physical person out there who is going to get your order ready for you and deliver that to you. So therefore, there is going to be danger presented for those people as well. And I'm not fear-mongering. This is absolutely not fear-mongering. This is so you are aware of the seriousness of this, because the people out there are telling you out of their own mouths what they are going to do when their money is cut off for their families. And let me tell you right now, it's one thing, especially if you are a mother or a father of children, it is one thing for you to go hungry, but to watch your children starve it's not possible for a parent to just do that. So people are going to get ugly. Now, my suggestion is know your community. Know who around you are going to be people that you can trust to help out each other. Maybe get a plan with some neighbors to say, hey, if this goes down, let's come together and help feed each other and our families, help take care of each other. Because this is the kind of relationship we're going to need to build from now on with our other brothers and sisters, with our neighbors, with people who understand what's going on and are willing to work together instead of getting violent, because that is what's going to happen. Like I said, you could take away a lot of things from people, but if you take away their food, that's when things get crazy. And people are already telling you in droves that they are going to go crazy. And they are hell-bent on stealing your groceries. So, that being said, I know this is a bit more of a serious thing, but it is a literal warning. It is exceedingly important to understand what is coming. And this is, of course, right on the precipice of the holidays. And that's going to make things even harder as we go into the winter and we get colder. You realize, right? On a normal everyday basis, you need about 2,000 calories a day for a female, 2,500 calories per day as a male to be a healthy person and, get through your day healthy. During the winter, you actually need 6,000 calories, depending, of course, on the area that you live and how cold the weather is. So 6,000 calories a day in comparison to 2,000 or 2,500 is quite a bit of a difference because of the cold. You need that extra energy to keep warm and to function, especially in the colder places. Okay, I'm here in Southern California. I won't need that amount, of course. It doesn't really get that cold out here unless you live in the mountains. But that being said, it still gets cold. So the reason why I'm coming here right now and having this discussion with you guys is, again, not to be scared, but be prepared. Tomorrow, I will be back on with Roxy, with the Roxy Files and with the Supernatural Show. And we're going to go through some inexpensive and holistic or natural things and preparedness tips for any kind of incoming disaster, war, or even times like these, where maybe you might have to go and forge some things or find another way to feed your family, which is why I suggest to really look into how people survived during the Great Depression or the Dust Bowl era in Kansas and things along those lines, because that's where we're headed and we need to understand and be prepared. We can't freak out that we don't have food, because when we do, we're going to be very, very persuaded to comply. Now, if you think that you are strong enough to handle watching your children starve, and you don't think that you're not going to have some kind of fight or flight fear response in that moment, because this is natural response for any human or creature trying to care for their family. So if you don't think that's not going to happen to you, then that's where you need to really look inward and say, how am I really going to react? And how can I prepare myself to not get to that state where I am easily manipulated into complying into these systems that they're pushing us in? Because this is the number one reason this is all happening. They're reconstructing everything for the digital system, and you won't be able to buy or sell unless you're part of it. So this is why we need to come together as a community. We need to look out for each other, and we can't panic. We cannot covet our neighbor's things because we are scared. Know that God has you. God will carry you through if you keep your faith to Him. But don't get wrapped up in this chaos, and please be aware of your surroundings, especially if you're elderly. Please don't, if you can, take a friend to the grocery store, go in groups. Don't go by yourself if you are elderly or in a place where you don't think you could be safe by yourself. And it makes me so sad to say that this is where we're at here in America. But we've been spoiled, and so many other countries have been going through these things and starving, and their governments using food and water and shelter to not only take out people, but to get them to comply. So stay strong, stay in faith, keep an eye out on your surroundings, keep your children safe, and educate yourself on how to survive on little means. Practice your fasting and your prayers and get yourself ready, because we are going through a time where we're not going to have things that we are used to. And it's time to get real, guys, because aside from all of the insanity that's happening right now, we got to focus on how we're going to get through this. And trust me, there's no guarantee. There's no guarantee that there won't be an earthquake or like anything that could possibly happen to where you are with the Lord Jesus and no longer here on this earth. But watching the people around you suffer creates fear and irrational decisions. And we're already seeing the irrational decision making spread through this nation with everything going on. But again, you take away people's food, despite if they are on the mindset of they just want to leech off of the government or don't want to work, whatever. They're already in the mindset of this is owed to them, right? And they are going to do whatever it takes to get what they need. So I love you all. I hope you are all having a wonderful day. I am so very sorry to come on here with something so heavy, but I know a lot of you already are aware that this is ramping up. And I think this holiday season, for anybody who actually does celebrate these things, we just got to love our family, stick together, and really come together as a community. Don't hate your neighbor, and don't get angry with them if they are reacting to their fears. Be smart, be prepared, and be strong in the Lord. All right, guys. I know you guys are super awesome, but just if this information strikes you as important, share it to your friends and family so they have an idea of what's coming if they don't already. And that being said, I love you guys. I'm going to let you go. I just wanted to come on here real quick for this important update. And again, sorry I didn't get into the chat here. Just wanted to get this out because it's been weighing heavy on me in the last couple of days, seeing all the reactions to what's going on and knowing that things are going to get rough. And we are not violent people, but there are a lot of violent people around you. So, and we know that this is demonically filled. This is a spiritual battle. So pray. Pray for your enemies and pray for your loved ones and pray that we have the strength to endure our trial here on this earth. I love you guys. Jesus Christ loves you. And if you haven't given your life to Jesus Christ today, I suggest you give him a shout out and say, hey, Jesus, I need you. I love you. And I want a relationship with you before it's too late. All right. Bye, guys.